In many ways, this coming in of all this Green Revolution technology parallels the sort of coming of these evangelical Christian voices to the Gamo, in that taking the landscape in which you live and making it something that's external to you. And they're saying, this landscape is actually designed for productivity, and it's not a part of your belief system, it's not a part of your sort of cultural heritage. It's this piece of land which is designed to feed you, which is sort of how we view our landscape in a lot of ways.
If we view the world as a machine, we become a machine. The machine mentality that has simply said the universe, nature, are mechanistic processes, that's brought us only so far, and that's exactly the crossroads. One of the things that we see now in our current economic crisis is that was in large measure driven by an abstraction of economics apart from ecology, apart from nature itself. It became a global casino, a roulette, just building on itself.
On a planet where nature has evolved over millions of years, we need to learn more about the principles that nature has developed to cope with crisis. And the simple answer is resilience. Resilience you get through diversity.
There's a massive trend away from diversity in commercial agriculture. I mean, of the 5 or 6 crops that feed most of this planet, we've gone from having thousands of varieties of those crops to maybe 2 or 3 that are really commercially produced. And those 2 or 3 varieties are designed to be incredibly productive, to feed a lot of people, but it makes them very vulnerable to change, to makes them vulnerable to pests, to disease, to outbreaks, because there's very little genetic diversity among them. So if one thing gets knocked out, all the corn in South America gets knocked out. The Gamo Highlands are considered a huge center of diversity for agricultural species. There's a lot of species which originated there or which have just been grown there for so long that they've diversified into hundreds of varieties there that don't exist anywhere else. So it's to places like the Gamo that people need to turn to sort of collect the genetic material for the crops that feed not just Africa, but all over the world.
Clearly, the Gamo Highlands are an ecosystem that is vital to our survival, but its precious agricultural diversity is inextricably linked to its cultural diversity. In just 300 square kilometers, there are 54 different tribes, and every year they gather to celebrate and preserve their cultural heritage at the Thousand Stars Festival.
Some of them put pawn of an animal, some of them with the skin, and some put on grasses and leaves. And I think that all shows that the connection of each group to the environment, to the nature. And all of the group have their own expression of connection to nature, although we can't understand the language they are singing.
It is not permitted among Gamos to take care of whatever he likes from the ground. There is a limit. There is a limit. You are taking grasses which you need, you don't destroy others. You are taking trees for your consumption, not to destroy others. They want to pass the resource for the next generation.
Sustainable agriculture is holistic, and it addresses the needs, the spiritual, the cultural, the social needs of the person. So it's not like mining the land for today's or short-term benefits. We are looking into this renewable use of the land.
Agriculture, in a lot of ways, is the primary human signature on our world. That's how we relate to the Earth more than any other way we do it. We shape it to help sustain us, and that's not something that's foreign, and that has to be, this horribly disruptive, unnatural process. It can be a very natural process. It can be a really integral part of our lives.
In 2008, 3 elders from the Gamo Highlands were invited to the United Nations to attend the Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues in New York City.
Nusate ison talo chimiri hai aiberi hai kanesha giri hai sikopsis. Ya he sagisha go de nadize.
People who are looking at the relationship between spirituality and ecology are realizing that biodiversity ecosystems are being destroyed because the Africans have severed their relationship between ecosystems and spirituality. It is very, very important for people to reintroduce that link, that relationship between themselves and the ecosystems, and then their spirituality becomes the key pillar in joining the two.
Many indigenous peoples have had this, what we would call traditional environmental knowledge about hunting or farming or planting or practices of the seasons, to bring in that universal power of the cosmos and bringing in that immediate power of nature itself. And part of what we have lost is we're trying to rely only on our own energy, but it's nature's energy that pours through us and which we need to draw on right now in our search for sustainable energies. It's spiritual as well as physical.
Asa adia desha chaga sumurina shukia layon da bana urkuzu gaitu mina mametin utana mazge tana bele ulon tabase tana simon tabele landarina tana mazge makalino